Hey, what's up, you absolute legends? So, in this video, I'm talking about the Spartan 1 program and the three aspects in that program that make it the best program in the entire world. Number one is you have your dietary component, right? Number two, you have a mindset component. And number three, you have an exercise protocol. So all three of these things, when done properly, will put you into a new version of yourself. So when you think about, hey, I'm trying to become the most optimized, badass version of myself, what does that really mean? I break it down into a couple of different categories. The first category is really cognitive optimization. So how do you optimize your brain? How do you get your brain on point 24/7, 365? Second thing is, how do you have a body that has a ton of energy all day? Number three is, how do you look the way you want to look? How do you make sure that your physique is the way you want it to be, regardless of whatever lifestyle stuff you do in terms of going out to eat, having drinks with friends? How do you maintain that consistent aesthetic appearance that you want? There's a bunch of different other things. There's hormonal regulation. There's keeping your testosterone high. If you're a woman, there's having proper estrogen levels. Overarching topic of hormonal optimization is really what that falls under. There's also flexibility, recovery, mood, all of these different aspects, right? So if our goal is to change either one of these dimensions or multiple dimensions, what we want to do is we want to identify where we're at, and then we want to identify what the version of ourselves is who has that basically figured out. And then what we want to do is we want to shift into that version of ourselves. So when we work in the Spartan 1 program, we're always just shifting ourselves from one version to the next most optimized version of ourselves, right? That starts first with a mindset change. So first we want to be conscious of who we are. We want to be conscious of who we want to be. And then we want to understand what that person thinks like in that 2.0 version. What that person, would do on a day-to-day basis, or what they would feel on a day-to-day basis. Now, why that's important is because that element of planning and strategy allows us to take that mental framework of who we want to be and download that into our subconscious mind. Mind works on two different aspects. There's a conscious focusing part, which you have control over, and then there's a subconscious part, which does things like run your autonomic nervous system, run your breathing, run your heartbeat, all of these different things, right? So we can control the conscious part while we're awake, and even if we lucid dream or something like that, we have conscious control over that. The subconscious is what just runs all of those functions and is actually a larger part of our mind. So when we have clarity on that 2.0 version, we can download that into our subconscious, and we can gain a lot of leverage by having our subconscious replicate that and not having to use our conscious mind of willpower so hard to basically transform ourselves. That's the first aspect. Second aspect is diet. Third aspect is exercise and nutrition. Diet is basically something that, in my perspective, should be gamified. So once you have that idealized version of yourself, you want to work backwards and figure out, okay, what does this person prioritize and what diet is optimal for me and my lifestyle? Then you want to set up different things throughout the day that make that as easy to execute as possible, while also having room to do whatever you want to do, right? Like if you want to go to Cheesecake Factory a couple times a week, and that's like really important for your relationship, figure out how to add that in there as well too. So taking that nutrition part and making it really simple and gamifying it can give you a way to actually win at that. Because when people have ambiguity around nutrition and they just, know that they're not feeling too good, they know they're not eating too good, but I gotta eat better, that's too ambiguous. You need tactile, hey, this is what I need to eat every day. This is my little mini game that I set up throughout the week. If I eat like this 6 times a week, I get a day off. You know what I mean? So even if you don't win every single week, if you can win 60% of the time, and you get hooked on the feeling of winning and being a winner, then you're going to have way more sustainable results, and it's going to be way more fun to do your nutrition properly, because once you get kind of good at it, you're like, damn, I'm kind of fucking beast at nutrition. I'm knocking this shit out. I'm getting my protein every day. I'm doing this, and this, right? So adding that element of fun and gamification can help that be solved. You can also apply that to the third tenet, which is the exercise protocol. Now, the exercise protocol, in my opinion, is meant to be the most long-term, multifaceted, foundational health protocol you could ever do. So even if your goal is to be someone who's really strong, Peaks are achieved through foundations. So you want to have an exercise protocol that addresses things that make you more flexible, that addresses things like helping you become more symmetrical, having really good core strength, having really good cardiovascular strength. All of these different foundational components, having really good recovery, right? Having all of these things on a foundational level really, really strong will allow you to go to different heights based on how consistent and foundationally good your exercise protocol is. And that involves a lot of lifestyle stuff too. So like, are you sitting 10 hours a day? Let's try and get you standing. That'll fix a shit ton of things. Are you stretching at least for like 2-3 minutes every day? That'll fix a ton of stuff too. When we talk about exercise well, we want to gamify that process. If you think about beating your own score or having something that is engaged on a micro level to where it's actually fun to do the process, it's everything. So when Spartan 1 is implemented, it's not just about doing the right things, it's about doing them in a way that is really fun. And I know it sounds crazy to think about like exercise as being fun or nutrition being fun or reprogramming your brain as being fun, but dude, straight up, everything else is dumb. Because if you're not going to make it fun, but you expect yourself to do this for like the next couple decades, if you're a younger guy, you're going to do this for 6 decades of upkeeping your body. Dude, it's got to be a net positive benefit to your life. So mastering those 3 aspects of your life is what Spartan 1's all about, because those are foundational to human health and optimization. Mindset, diet, exercise. You master those, you get really good at those, you're never fucking tired, your brain's always on point, and you just feel amazing. So having those 3 things locked in is very important, and there's many people who don't have that, or if they do have it, are always looking to go to the next level, which are people like myself. So understanding those 3 things, gamifying them, and becoming what is ultimately called unconsciously competent at them will put you in a category of humans that not a lot of people can achieve, right? Not a lot of people have their diet figured out. Not a lot of people have exercise really, really unlocked. Not a lot of people are really good with their mindset and understand how their mind works and how to consciously focus and reprogram and use the freaking powerhouse that is our mind. So when you have those 3 things that are just a part of who you are, in my perspective, I think life gets a lot more fun because now you have a lot more control over your physical apparatus, which if you think about the most valuable things in the world, if you have $1 billion but you can't fucking get out of bed, your health is everything. So mastering that is super important and super valuable and super powerful, especially when you have it mastered to an extent of where, it's not even taking that much willpower for you to do. And it's really not that hard to do. 90 to 120 days, you fucking install this shit in you. You're going to be in a level that not a lot of people are. So that's the entire point of the Spartan 1 training program. Now, as far as what we have for the different options, there is a subscription which will get you access to the course. So if you want to do it all yourself, you can pay like $50 a month. It's pretty straightforward. You just go through the modules, you implement it yourself. Second option is if you want myself or my team to do your nutrition and your diet, we can do that as well. That's $300 a month. The next level up is $1,500 a month, but that's premier consulting and coaching and mental reprogramming. So it's very extensive. We go through, we really get clarification on the mental side of things. So we really do a lot of cognitive mindset work to understand, who you want to be. What does that person think like? What are the programs? And we straight up download that shit into your mind through self-affirmation and repetition processes. You think about somebody like Mike Tyson, right? When Mike Tyson became the greatest boxer in the world, it's because he had a coach who was just downloading that thought pattern into his brain every day. You're the greatest in the world. You're a killer. You can do this. You can do that. You can do this. You're a killer. So like almost his own thoughts didn't have as much airtime as his coach just downloading that day after day after day after day after day into their head. So if you want that type of engagement, it is a more premium option, but it's indescribable the results that we can achieve with it. So if you're interested, go ahead and sign up through Spartan1Elite.com or book a call with us if you want to talk about some of the stuff, and we can go over your current situation and see if it's a good fit for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Jacob, out.